What is good, guys? Welcome to episode 105, Speaking of Which podcast. We got my man's John over there. Let me see, hold on.
Yeah. And we got a special guest with us. Say your name.
Taylor Malone here.
Taylor Malone in the building. Appreciate you coming out.
Shake dap us up real quick. Dap us up. Yeah, we here.
There we go.
Excited. Thank you for pulling up.
Speaking of which, fam, appreciate you tuning in. You already know to subscribe. And thank you for my phone. Let me put that joint on silent.
Come on. Oh, yeah. That'd be happy. My boy's popular.
Yeah, subscribe, man. We got another guest on. We try to get a guest on every week, man. If you want to hop on the pod, pull up. Right?
DM us, Speaking of Which pod.
All that,
Instagram,
yeah.
So
but
get it started.
We got a special guest today, and we've met each other a few times.
Yeah.
I've seen you out and about. We do very similar things, which I can appreciate. Like your interview style, you having the camera people around to capture everything.
The definition of being outside.
That type shit.
Basically.
She got motion.
People be like, I see you everywhere. I'm like, damn, really?
Yeah. So basically, we brought you in because we feel like you kind of have a pulse on like music in general, but especially the underground. And you know, we respect those who really like dedicate their lives and appreciate what's going on, you know, in the music scene. So give us a little intro on like what started you in music and whatnot, and just tell us from the beginning how'd you get into it.
Damn. I mean, okay, I was like always, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of started, I was like a stan, like fangirl, like One Direction girl down, like I saw them in concert like fucking 1,000 times. I even saw them in London. Like, that was like always like music was like a big part of just like my thing, and like I've been making like internet friends and shit for years through music. Like, I mean, shit, I guess over 10 years now.
Right.
Ooh.
Time flies.
So that was always like, you know, and like even in high school, like I just had a lot of friends outside school through like music shit. Like my friends would always be like, all right, Taylor, what concert are you going to this weekend? Like, you know, and it's not even like big shows. Like I'd go to the smaller shows all the time. Like that was just my jam. So I guess I naturally got to know a lot of people. Just like I wasn't even like, I just tell people like, I don't know, I don't like purposefully network 90% of the time. It's just like I just like meet people. I just like talking to people. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so around like my senior year of high school, I thought I wanted to work in like art and music therapy. So still like music, art related, but I had gotten into NYU for applied psych, and like I was sitting there and I was like, damn, do I really want to do this? And at the time I was really close with Ski Mask, actually really close with him and his team.
Dope.
I owe a lot to them. Don't talk to them that much anymore, but it was around the time he was on tour with Juice. And so,
Death Race for Love tour.
Oh yeah, so I was with them at a couple of his shows.
Awesome. That show was great. The Baby opened up.
Yes.
That was a good time.
And
that was the SOBs, right?
No, it was Manhattan Center.
You
had two back-to-back shows
somewhere,
at Manhattan Center.
And then I also their one in Connecticut was at the Xfinity Theater. That was like crazy. Like I don't even know how many tickets that shit was, but it was thousands. Like it's a big like amphitheater. Like the black like the grass in the back yard was open.
That's awesome.
So many people, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
and
the
I
Juice
was
WRLD Rise was incredible.
Oh my god. And I was like watching the show from the side, and I'm looking at these fans, and I'm like, damn, like y'all just do this for a living. Like that's so fire. And they were like, I mean, like, look at where you are, like, now. Like, look at who you know at, like, 18. Why don't you just do it for a living, too? And I was like, yo, you're so right. Like, I never thought of that. Like, why do I want to be a therapist? Like, I need one. I don't want to be one. So, like.
That's fair.
So, I just kind of, like, I don't know. I changed my major when I was in NYU to music business. I didn't even know they had that until I started. So I don't know. I thought I wanted to do tour management initially because like I had a lot of what I loved was like shows and live music and shit.
Type shit.
I thought that was super cool, but I kind of wanted to get into management. I'm like very organized planner. I like overseeing everything. You know, I'm just
the puppeteer.
very logistical person. You know, I love Excel and like my planner and shit.
Oh damn, I love that.
Organized.
I'm more
Like,
organization whore.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
I keep a bullet journal, if you know what that is. It's like a plain notebook that I like hand draw my planner.
Wow.
Oh, as you should.
Like just play, like just
it's
from
always good
scratch.
to handwrite it.
Yeah, like
It
it's
sticks
all
to your memory
artsy
more.
and everything. Oh yeah, I need pen on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just started like I had gotten involved with the hyperpop scene initially. I had been friends with Eric DOA. Shout out Eric, literally my heart.
Fire
That's literally
artist.
my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew him before he made music, just on some internet shit, just internet friend.
Really?
And he blew up. He started making music in the hyperpop shit, and he blew up. And like he introduced me to this whole scene again through the internet. Like I don't know where I'd be without all the people I met online.
The internet for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah.
So I started managing people within the hyperpop scene. I guess it just went from there, you know, just found my way through things.
Before we
so.
get into further with the Hyperpopdaily stuff, let us know like some of your inspos growing up in high school and stuff, like who you were listening to. Because you mentioned the music art therapy.
Yeah.
I feel like you really got to be in tune with like good music for it to be therapeutic type
That's
shit.
very true.
I mean, I also like, even though I like work with rappers, like I like a lot of my inspiration comes from like some of my favorite artists ever, like Pierce the Veil. I'm actually seeing them in May. Sleeping with Sirens is opening for them. That is like my little preteen tween
fire.
like emo like heart is like
That's
so
cute.
excited.
That's
So I loved like that. I loved, you know, Deftones, one of my favorite
For sure.
bands ever. I mean, I listened to a lot of like Grimes. I had like my Tumblr girl era that I loved, like, you know, The Neighborhood, 1975, like those.
Yep.
Those types of bands, and like I'm not like a big pop girly anymore, but like I had a K-pop phase actually.
word?
It's
Okay.
really, I think that kind of got me into like learning the industry, because that's a whole different ballgame. Like it's so insane the way that shit works internally, and it's just a whole different, like, beyond the music, just the way everything is structured is insane.
Really?
I
about
mean,
rapper-wise?
Future is my favorite rapper of all time. I think he's the best rapper of our generation.
Nice.
I think Future like will never get corny. Like, he's in his 40s, and I still don't think like.
No,
you
I
know,
always tell John this. I'm like, yo,
he can't get hit with the
he
you're
can't
getting
miss.
too old.
Like he's in a certain lane that he could kind of make the same song whenever, like all the time, but it's still hard. Like,
Facts.
No,
it's like damn if you do, damn if you don't with certain rappers, but with him, it's like he could get away with it.
Like with Drake, he's getting that, like, come on now, you're getting too old for
old.
this type of shit.
But
I know, right? I didn't think about that. No matter how old Future gets, he's still that guy.
Like he can't get hit with the all right, grandpa. You know, like he's still like he's in his.
I guess it's the way he carries himself.
Yeah, and Future and Thug.
Nice.
Sure.
Definitely Thug.
Jeffrey, shout out Jeffrey.
Oh, man.
Who are you listening to now?
I'm kind of all over the place. Well, I love Fake Mink right now. I think Mink is really cool.
He came up OD in the past 5 months. For sure.
Crazy. Like all of a sudden, just like shot up. I had interviewed him a few weeks ago, but I don't know if that's coming out. It depends on, you know, his team and whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know,
You know
they're
how it
very
goes.
specific with what they want to come out and
Right.
shit. I think I mentioned there's like one of the hot take comments mentions this dude, but Ron Shock is really cool. I love K3. That's my girl. I've been told her she was gonna go up for like a year now.
For real? Wow.
I found her like first song out.
She gave us a little scare the other day.
Oh,
the
and she
tweet.
was on Twitter like, no,
About to
I knew
quit.
she was gonna get over it.
And she, I'm about to
I
quit,
saw that
and
tweet. I was like, she about to like in a few hours be like, my fault, y'all. I was tripping.
Yeah,
I love her. That's my girl. I mean.
Interesting. Okay.
Shit, I'm like, I just gotta like, I go like
you can
open.
check your
I like
phone.
go,
Yeah,
I like
go-
open my
go by
Spotify. I'm
It's
like,
all good.
whenever I get this question, I'm like, shit.
Dave
Smoked
Blunts?
Smoked. I'm done. Yo, Dave Blunts. Every single time, this is like public, so I don't even. He will like anytime I'm like in a comment section, he'll reply, "I need you." Every time.
Sipping up
Like,
on that
like,
shooting his
shit.
shot with
every
no
single
care.
DM, he replies to my stories with "I need you." It's really funny.
Damn, so are you going to go to that show then?
March 8th,
There's
right?
a show.
Yeah, March
In,
8th in Market Hotel.
Market Hotel. You should slide. Be like, you
that's
say
the
you
day.
needed
Imagine
me.
she's
That's
there.
the day.
Yo.
Nah, I
Or
leave
put
for
on the
Texas.
shirt saying, "I need you, Dave
Nah,
Blunts."
that's crazy. No, I leave for Texas that day. I'm going to
Oh,
South
damn.
by.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, I love Smoked Up 2016. I don't know if you guys
What
know
is
who
it
that
called?
is.
Put us
Smoked Up
on.
2016. He does not sound like what that name is. I swear to God, he's like almost like revamping like cloud rap era. like
Lil
very
B's
like
of the
On his
days.
young lean
like
shit,
young
or-
lean shit. Yeah,
Okay,
like
okay.
almost like, but it feels like old but new.
Clown
He's
Casino
so far.
type beats?
Yeah, he just dropped a project. I love it. I was listening to it on the way. Literally, I was listening
Wow.
to it
There
on
we
the way
go.
here. He's super cool. Shout out, bro. He's super cool. People
Have you heard of this artist named Fang?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you heard of him before? Nah. I just got put on like
no,
last
yeah.
week.
I
Pretty
saw
cool.
like he just dropped that video that people started. It went up a little bit too.
He's
He's cool.
His music
I mean,
is interesting. Yeah,
UK
for sure.
is kind of making some
He's a
noise
UK
right now
artist,
too.
and I don't
Shout out
listen to too
YT
much.
also. That's
Yeah,
bro.
word.
YT,
I saw
for
YT
sure.
open up for Dom Corleone.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Word.
pretty random. Yeah, that was cool.
You mentioned that what's that artist name? Something 2016. Smoke Dope 2016.
Smoke Dope 2016.
Are you were you tapped into like 2016, 17 era,
Oh,
like
yeah.
Lil Peep and shit
Oh,
like that?
I was the day that
He
Peep
lived
died.
or he lived. Sorry,
Yeah,
10
he was a
minutes
Long
from here.
Island. Yeah. No, I actually briefly went to school in Long Island in like the Lawrence Woodmere area, but no,
Shout out
when
Lil Tecca, same shit.
oh yeah, shout out Tekka. Yeah,
Word.
no, the day that Peep died, I came into school in my Peep hoodie, like crying. I
Oh,
was
no
like, my friends
way.
were like, "You're so
Man.
dramatic." I was like, "Dude, you don't understand. I fell asleep
Damn.
listening to his music last night, and I
Oh,
woke up and he's
nah.
dead." Like
Oh man,
that was honestly the time where I always like, I'm very multi-genre type of person, but I think like the 2016 era was definitely something where I got more involved with rap in general. I was I was a big Ski fan before I even knew him personally.
Wow.
I really liked Yachty at the time too.
Lil Bo.
I mean, yeah, just that whole, the double XL cipher,
yeah.
that's just the epitome of like, yeah.
Did
I
you
was
like
actually
the other guy?
I was actually at Ski Master's first. It wasn't his show technically, but it was his Wi-Fi's funeral's first
I
sold out
loved
show.
Wi-Fi.
And Ski Mask came out as a surprise guest.
Mhm,
That's
SOB.
crazy.
And I got to meet all of them. That was pretty far, like early on in my career,
17. I think it was early 2017. bro.
It was December 2017.
Oh, okay,
Smoke
word.
Perp
I feel
was
like-
there. Like,
I feel like I
Damn.
might have been there. That's the thing.
What
I
a
went to so
time.
many shows. Like I'm like I
probably
might
were.
have. I honestly think I might have been there because you said
SOBs,
SOBs. Yeah,
yeah.
a lot crazy the amount of shows.
All right,
that,
so
like,
since you mentioned shows,
first,
this
like-
question just popped up to my head. Since you've been to 100 shows at least,
Yeah.
right? What would you say when you look back at concerts in general? What are like three of your like it stands out the most to you?
Damn.
Because
It's hard to
I have
pick
so I
three.
know it's hard to
Yeah.
choose three, but you could just blur them out. Like
Yeah.
it's whatever. You don't have to be
Well-
that deep, but like ones that really stand out to you for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, like I had mentioned earlier, the Juice and Ski show, specifically the one at
Wish I
Xfinity
went there.
Theater.
Yeah, that's
That
gas.
was like I remember just sitting there side stage looking at this crowd like just like what the fuck, like
Yeah.
that's the moment I like decided like, oh, my whole life path is changing.
What a dynamic too, right? With Juice WRLD and Ski,
Yeah.
like that's just
oh
like
yeah,
perfect.
and Ski didn't like open. He went out mid.
It was like mid-set. That was another thing that made
that
it
was
even crazier.
Really cool.
And
I'm
then
not
Juice
gonna
after
lie.
him again. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was cool.
it felt like a lot more integrated
Yeah.
into the tour rather than just like this is my opener. I always said for some time, and this kind of like aged poorly after Astroworld Fest, but I was a big like festival girl in high school, and Travis Scott had headlined I think it was Gov Ball one year. I loved going to Gov Ball.
Oh, Ball's dope. It's fun.
Their
It
acts
was-
recently.
Yeah, no, I haven't gone in years, but
Yeah.
it's been a few years since I went. But he was headlining, and I was like, I would go into the pit by myself. Like I'd go with like a couple of my
Hell
girlies,
yeah.
and they weren't the type. I'd be
So
like,
you
all
was
right,
about
we'll
that
see
life
you.
your whole
No,
the whole
yeah,
time?
I was
Okay.
like, oh, and I can't go in a pit anymore. I feel like grandma. Just stand in the back. Like I
That's
go to these
fair.
shows. Like I
Yeah.
forgot. Like I think like Net had a show like sometime like last like fall or something,
Yeah.
and I got like a wine from the bar. Like one of the like two people
With
at
their
the show
pinky
that
out.
could. No, literally, like one of the like two people at the show that could legally drink at the bar, and
Oh
I'm just
my
standing in
God.
the back watching these kids with a glass of white wine, like woo.
Yeah.
But I remember, I would just tell my girls like, all right, see you in
Yeah.
a little bit.
Right,
like
right,
I'll
right.
meet you here at the end. And
you-
so
you
I
think
was
that
just
Travis performance was it?
in the middle of it, and it was pouring rain. Like mid set, it just started pouring.
Something
And
about
this
that
was-
rain, man.
This was probably 2018,
said Gov Ball,
2019. Yeah, I think it
Gov
might
Ball
have been.
Astroworld.
2018 was crazy with
Yeah.
Uzi's performance, Eminem
Yeah.
headlined.
I forgot.
man.
It might have been 2019. It might have been
It
right
might have been after
I
Astroworld, so-
graduated
Yeah.
high school. I don't know, but it's one of I think it was 2019. But no, that was like just a crazy like experience for me too. And like as much as I don't really listen to Travis like that anymore, I will say like the show and crowd experience and like the pit experience is
Hell yeah.
crazy. I saw Uzi at that. I think it was that Gov Ball that I saw.
He's wearing a
Uzi,
black
or was
shirt
it-
and he has it
and
tucked
he-
in.
I was
That
front.
shit's
And
so
I was
fire.
front and center barricade. Like no
No
bullshit.
way.
Like the center spot. I waited there
Ribs
all
on
day.
fire.
I saw. I had bruises.
That's like
fat
prime Uzi, bro.
bruises, like right
Yeah.
here.
Nah.
I was a Billie Eilish girl at the time too. She played the same stage.
dope.
There. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
I got there super early. I was like second from barricade. I saw her. I saw Caliucci's. I think Vic Mensa was in between her. I don't know. I was like,
Yeah.
whatever. This is.
Vic
Cool.
I was a fan for a
I
year
was
or
like,
two.
yeah, I guess cool. Yeah,
Vic
but
had his time.
Childish.
oh yeah, I
Vic
stayed
had
at
his
that
time.
stage all day for Uzi. It was crazy. I mean, that was yeah. I think like
One
being
more.
like
Give
a
us
pit
one more.
girl.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think being a pit girl was a good experience. Oh my gosh,
Did you see Yachty early on or no?
I
Because out of all,
think
I
I
always say this,
did.
out of
Did you ever
every
get to see Lil Peep?
no.
Bruh.
Yo, you know what like broke my heart?
Did he ever perform in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where?
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
twice.
Yeah.
Damn, that would have been so gas, bro.
I'm the same
Because-
way with Juice WRLD. It breaks my
Yeah,
heart.
I was
Yeah.
supposed to see him with like my homegirl because like the guy she was talking to like wanted to go with her, but she was like, I don't know if I want to go just us. Like, want to come with me? And I was like, fuck yeah.
Right.
And then he like bailed on her, so I was like, okay, it's fine. Like we won't go.
Tickets
Yeah.
probably mad cheap back then
Oh
too.
my
$15.
god,
15,
I look
20
back
bucks
at it,
for a
like, I wanna
show. Like,
die. Like I actually want to die. That shit was so upsetting.
Damn.
Damn. I don't know. I think. Well, I will say, I was friendly with Net when he first started coming up. I saw his first performance ever. He was
Really?
opening for Baby Goyard at Mercury Lounge.
Oh, wow.
He was opening for Baby Goyard at Mercury Lounge, and I think like the show itself wasn't like Mercury Lounge is small. The show itself wasn't
Right.
like the most insane show I've ever been to, but like this kid's first performance ever, like he's really like shy. His mom
Yeah.
is still with him. His mom didn't want him to go anywhere without her.
wow.
Still,
But
like,
did you know though, watching
like-
him like Net's gonna
oh, I
get
told
bigger?
everyone this is the future. Like literally, I told everyone this kid's the future. This kid's the
We used
future.
to
Trust
cut
me.
his
Trust
ass.
me.
I ain't gonna lie. If
Oh,
you
no.
told me that at that
I
show.
knew. I knew.
We were
I
cutting
knew
his
that kid was the
ass
future.
early because we thought,
Ooh.
at least at the time,
It's just
like
because
we
we
thought
see
like
so many of these new kids come out, and
No,
it's
for
like,
sure, especially when it's like a
and
little white boy.
especially the
Right.
underground sound interview
Yeah.
did not
Oh
help.
my
Like
oh yeah,
that's
that
what
was
really was. I was like, man, this kid is
Who you
such
think
a
he is?
wannabe.
He's at like
Like-
300 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's
oh my god,
no.
typical internet kid.
No.
Man. But the music got better. Although we
Yes.
used to cut his
Yeah.
ass, you can't.
No, for sure.
Nah,
Can't
I
knock that
seen
the
it
music
credit when
from
credit's
actually
due.
the
got better.
start. I vlogged, so that's why I was a big vlogger at the time. So I have that whole night vlogged. We went to the
Wow.
studio with everyone in Xavier at that time. They made, I think, Benny, Hannah, and On the Way, I think were the two songs they made that night. I vlogged the whole night, and like people in my YouTube comments are like, oh, word Net. I'm replying to these comments like, Net the future, Net the future. This is like
Yeah.
August 2023.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
so I think like seeing that kid's progression, like seeing him just like being able to like show a crowd that doesn't know him, and there's still like a small pit of people just being able to like dance with him. He jumps
Right.
to the pit, him and OK are in the pit. Like I was like seeing that, I'm like, yeah, they don't know him, but they will. They will.
Right.
And he oh, you know the gif of Xavier,
Yeah.
I'm in
Right.
the background. There's
Oh wait, was it that show?
it was a different show.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
I know
that
what
was
you're talking
also,
about, though. I
but
know
that
what
was
you're
also
talking
that was the Nova Gang show.
Yeah.
That show was really crazy. I vlogged that night too. That
You're
that
on
won't
stage
happen
for that?
again. Yeah. Oh, I was there the whole fucking day. No, if you look in the GIF in the background, you'll see me like recording. I have my POV of it too. Like I was there the whole day. Literally, I mean, maybe I'll send this to you guys. But like seeing this kid,
Classic.
this kid's not even on the lineup. He's just a special guest, and I was like, oh yes, I knew it. I knew he was
Yeah,
gonna
shout out my
make
Dominican
it.
brother. We got an interview with him
shout out
last
to
year.
him,
It was
man.
dope.
No,
Yeah.
but since you mentioned that, I brought up this question that I already had. What's your take on artist performances, right? So like, does it matter if you're such a huge fan and then you go to see them and they suck? Let's be real, or does
Yeah.
it not? You don't care.
Yeah.
Does that diminish
mean,
your liking of them? You
I don't know if it'll diminish it per se, like as much, but I mean, like I said, I was always like a live music girl. Like that's like shows and everything is what like really got me into shit. So I think it's
Is it just disappointing
so
for you a little bit?
important. I think it's so important to be a good performer. I think that's like so much.
Hell
It
yeah.
carries so much more weight than people think.
So much.
honestly, like even like just like having a show like in general, just like performing period, but being able to be a good performer and moving a crowd, like
showing you're passionate too.
Yeah, like you need to be able to move a crowd. Like 4-5, shout out 4-5. I've known him for years also, and I remember
it's a big bang for your buck when you see 4-5.
Oh yeah, dude! Like I knew him before he like was really making music, and the first time I saw him perform, I wasn't listening to his music. It's just like, oh, that's my homie. He was I don't know if you're in New York City Gun Club clothing brand.
Course, yeah.
Those were like my guys like back like COVID era. So he lived with all of them. They were all like Gun Club, and the first time I was like, oh, I mean, yeah, fuck it, we're all going. Yeah, shout out Gun Club. And like the first time I was like, oh yeah, fuck it. I mean, we're all going to his show, sure. And I'm sitting there and I'm seeing the way he turns up this crowd, and I'm like, damn, like I don't listen
Stage
to your
presence.
music at all, and I'm still like, oh.
You could tell though, 4-5, like out of every rapper that I've seen that's coming up, you could tell he's like just hungry to just be famous.
And
already.
he's smart too. He
definitely the
he's
branding.
very strategic.
Yeah.
For sure.
You could just tell, like the way he performs, he just wants the fame already. Like, I want it.
Yeah, there's, as far as your question goes, like Trippie Redd.
We say this all the time.
occasions.
He's so 50-50.
He's
He
too
chooses
cool,
when he wants to.
for school on stage.
It's a shame.
Yeah,
And he used to go hard like that.
Yeah.
That
He was a
clip
young
of Yachty
Jake.
and him that went viral at Rolling Loud.
Oh, 2018. Where he's like, who's?
Yeah,
he
yeah,
surprised him.
yeah.
Yeah,
that
like,
was
I
cool.
miss that energy
Yeah.
from him on stage. Like we've seen him at least 5-6 times in the past 2 years, and he just doesn't give a fuck.
I'm like,
Just
that's the
smoking
thing.
a big ass
It
blunt.
ruins it for me.
That's the thing. Like, I don't even know if I've seen him, and the amount of shows I've been to, I probably have, but I don't know. That's how like it probably is not memorable at all if I did. Like, I have no idea.
I think another artist that, in my opinion, that's like the best bang for your buck is DC the Dom.
Yeah,
For
I've
sure.
seen DC
For $30, you're gonna get like he's jumping in
Yeah.
the crowd. He's, you know what I'm saying, he's interacting. He
No,
gives you an
yeah.
hour performance when
I remember.
I guess they don't have to. You know, that's another reason why I think a lot of rappers don't give a shit because they already
Yeah.
got paid.
You know what
Yeah.
started the downfall for an artist because of their performance?
Who?
Can.
Oh my God.
Yo, he
That's
performed
his
at
fault,
Rolling
man. He
Loud
don't,
like
like,
2022
I think,
or 2.
some shit like that.
And it was
That
so
was
bad
bad.
to the point
That
where
was
it's
bad.
like,
You would think it would go viral, it'd be good for him, but that shit was bad.
you sound like you got something to
No,
say.
oh, we booked Can and he pulled out like a week before the show.
Oh my
Shut up,
God.
Can. Like he's like cool people.
You think he has
but
like social anxiety or some shit?
that's not his thing. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I think it's also a money thing. He makes a lot of money off that RR like merch and
yeah.
everything. Like I think like some people just don't really care about performing, and so I think for him it's just kind of like, oh, why do I need to do this? You know,
I feel like
suppose.
it's you can you know he's allowed to think how he wants and like move how he wants when it comes to his career, but I feel like he's doing himself a big disservice, especially
Yeah.
production wise. He could be producing for mad heads, and it's like, I mean, but if you don't love the music like that, then it is.
That's
what it
funny
is.
because I'm thinking of someone like Yeet, right? You think the label has been like on his back, like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, you're a superstar now. I need you to be a better performer, or
He's
you think he
crazy.
did that for himself? Like, you know what?
I think for
I'm kind of
himself, he got
trash.
Zach Bia behind
Yeah.
him too. Zach Bia is very
Because
much-
at first, I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen Yeet at first, where he was kind of like, yo, come on, I need y'all to jump.
Yeah,
You know, and then he's
like,
starting
you
to get
gotta
a little better.
Used to it, I think.
Yeah, I guess so,
Yeah,
right?
like I think
Yeah.
for some people, like they
gotta start
want
somewhere.
to, but they don't like. You know, it's like kind of. I mean, scary. Like how do you even do it? You got to
Yeah.
get into the. I saw him in Tokyo actually, when I was in Japan last year.
That's fire.
Oh my god, that crowd was crazy. It's kind of cool because the pit isn't as like overwhelming and sweaty as in
Fair.
the States.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Like I felt like actually for once I was like on the floor like. Woo!
Yeah,
I do
enjoying
like about like
yourself.
overseas though, at least where I went to Wireless 2023,
London
a lot of
was
them
OP.
don't really take their phones out, and I
Oh,
appreciate that. I don't know,
Yeah.
it's just like I guess they live more in the moment.
Yeah, I think like I always say like with like European shows like that was it Poland, the Rolling Loud, they don't have like, we're spoiled, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah, so,
like
yeah.
we're used to these people coming every single tour, especially like New York, like major cities.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
for
oh, these
sure.
artists have came here like 1,000 times. That's why I've seen so many
Yeah.
people.
I'll see him in
But like
6 months.
out
he'll
there,
be back.
yeah, it's like out there, it's like you don't know if you're gonna be able to
Yeah.
see them again
No,
at least
ever,
anytime
yeah.
soon, but ever, yeah. Like so, I
Nah,
think
that's
that's why they
true.
live more in the moment.
Do you feel pressure to like constantly, because you know there's like a new rapper like every week it seems like, right, with social media. Do you feel pressure to like do your research on these artists, or like if you didn't have that job, let's say, would you even care to like listen to new shit every week? Is that stressful? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
feel like I don't even do my research at all.
it just comes to you
Sometimes I
naturally?
think I should do more than
Yeah.
I do, but I think it literally just comes to me naturally. Like these people, I don't even know. Like
So it's not a chore for you in a sense, like to hear all these new artists almost every day.
I think it's fun.
Okay.
I don't know. Like
That's
I
fair.
think it's really fun. Like I said with like K3, like I just stumbled upon her. I wasn't like out there searching. Like I literally just found her. She did like a feature on like a Omer Dagoon song, and I was like, oh nah, this girl got it. Like I think it's just fun. Like it's a lot of word of mouth. Like scrolling through Reels, scrolling through Twitter. Like you know, I know a lot of people that are super tapped into. So it's not even like I go out my way to do research.
Okay, fair enough.
So sometimes I think I should do more.
It's intimidating. I feel like when you get a new artist and they have like 10 projects under their belt already, it's like, damn, where do I start? You know,
it is a chore for me sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, because it's really differentiating yourself from other people, because it's okay to be inspired, but when it's blatant like copy paste, it really gives me like a bad taste in my mouth.
It's a big problem lately.
Like, and then the youth though, I'm not gonna hold you. I just turned 30, so like whatever, but the youth, they don't give a fuck about that. If such and such sounds like Ken Carson and Opium Aesthetic and all that shit, they're gonna like rock with it more. And that wasn't really the case for us growing up. Like I don't know how old you were.
I'm about to turn 24 and like
the perfect example is Nine Vicious, bro.
Yeah.
Perfect
I don't want to
example.
get into that.
Like I saw that and I was like,
Young Thug
Bro.
clone,
That
but
literally-
his shit type hard. I'm not gonna hold you.
but at least he's signed to like
Yeah,
he's
YSL.
signed
to
It's not like
YSL.
it's a
That is
random
crazy.
person that's super
I'm gonna say
mimicking.
it, bro. Osama's son. I used to call him Osa Mason, but
I always fucked with Osama too. I saw him
Yeah.
perform back also like 2023, and
for the
he knew how to
longest
move a
time,
crowd.
I couldn't really respect it because it was just blatant copy paste.
Yeah.
As far as the most recent album though, like I gave it a shot, like really good, pretty good, I would say. Like 5 songs I actually fuck with out of the bunch, but at the beginning, him and I just couldn't stand that shit. It was
It's hard for us because we're like so like Wayne fans,
And
we're
I
like
work-
die hard and so many clones.
Oh,
it's just like,
I
And we
actually just
work
bought
with
like
it.
old Wayne vinyl the other day.
hey,
Actually,
that's what I'm talking about.
Which
That's what I'm
one?
talking about.
I bought like 2. There was one that was like the compilation album because I was just like, fuck it, I'm having all these on vinyl.
Right.
I forgot what it was, like a black and white cover.
okay,
And then I got the Carter 3.
Nice,
Best
classic,
album of
as you
all
should.
time.
Yeah.
But
I
I
was trying to
love
book
my
his son for a show. I don't know how much he would cost, but that would be awesome, right?
But yeah,
Like,
it
very
bothers,
priceless.
It bothered me especially because like I genuinely like work with Carson and Lone and like that shit is not appreciated, at least at the time. You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm listening to Osama Mason, it's kind of like biting sauce. It was, and then seeing everybody fuck with it, it kind of was like, nah.
Yeah.
But I can't
is
be a
what it
hater.
is.
I can't be old head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up to him.
I love Flex music. I'm not gonna lie, he was my top artist on Spotify last year. Osama.
That's what's up.
Osama, I don't know why you blocked me, bro, but I love
Damn.
you. I love you. I love you. It's
That's
okay.
fucked.
It's
So
okay.
you,
It's all
you
love.
always. It seems like you've been tapped in for a while. The last 10 years, like you're always kind of early on certain artists. You're early on K3, Xavier, Net. Your association with Hyperpopdaily, I feel like it's perfect for you because Hyperpopdaily is like pretty much they bring people up that are on the rise and shit.
Yeah.
How did that association happen? Do some people think you own it? Do you own it?
Nah.
Or like how did you get involved with them and like what's your role with them and what's kind of like the future with them type shit?
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of their progression is kind of the same as mine, where they went from like hyperpop to the underground. And I think it was also like I would say like I'm not actually like really trying to network. I just like meet people, and I'm a very social person. So I kind of got tapped in with them when I was like in like the hyperpop scene. Like I was managing more so hyperpop artists, like Kuru, shout out Kuru, like the adjacent people. So I just had a bunch of like mutuals, I just became cool with them, and like they actually reached out to me. Like I didn't like say like, oh, I'm trying to work with y'all. Like we had like a there's like Instagram group chat of like us and like all of our homies, like and they reached out to me. So when they did the basketball games, I don't know if you remember the
Bobbling there.
yeah, with all of them. Yeah, that shit was funny. They wanted to live stream it. And so they were trying to find like a host, so they reached out to me because they thought I was like a perfect fit. They were like, hey, we want to live stream it, like we want a host for the live stream. They knew I was like kind of familiar with just like being in front of a camera and like public speaking. And so they were like, hey, do you want to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And I was about to be out in LA at the time that they did the LA one anyway. So all the way in Calabasas, though. Oh my God, that was deep. I was like, why are we out here? But I just hosted the stream for that. And so I did the one in New York too. And then they did a couple Twitch streams here and there that they wanted me to host because they knew I knew how to work Twitch. So I did like song reviews or whatever with Xavier. And I did one with like DJ Fat and Zay Guapkin ended up pulling up too. And like I did a couple Twitch streams for them here and there.
Yeah.
And then they finally like got into how long ago was this? Like a year and a half maybe. They wanted to start doing interviewing at shows. And like they started with like the going to shows thing that I do. I go to shows, I talk to the fans, and then I go backstage. Yeah.
That was dope.
Tana and
Yeah,
Cap
shout
was
out Tana. I know.
Yeah.
I actually was the one that sent that show to them, and it was like, oh, I want to cover this. Sometimes they'll send me a show like, oh, do this. But I saw that show, and I was like, oh yeah, we gotta do this one. We gotta do this one.
Real one.
Yeah, I think the first show I ever covered we didn't put out. It was an Osama and Net show at Catch One in LA. And this was like October 2023, I think. And then they started doing like long form interviews. So we interviewed like Zangang,
Nice.
and a couple people, and I was like a secondary host. David Rodriguez was like the main interviewer, and I was just kind of like secondary voice. And yeah, I mean, literally, it's just they reached out to me because they saw I was like a big enough of like a figure. People knew who I was, and also I'm like able to talk to people, and I'm like tapped in enough.
Right.
And it just like grew from there, and it got to the point where I mean, I like covering Summer Smash was like one of the biggest
That's
like
awesome.
opportunities I ever
That's
had.
fire.
Cole wants us to cover it again this year too.
Fire.
Shout out Cole, such a great dude.
Yeah.
Like
I literally just bought
oh,
tickets
yeah.
like 2 days ago for Summer Smash, my flight, everything.
yeah.
I'm mad excited.
I'm trying
No,
to
I'm
work
so
Summer
excited.
Smash. I know I'm not trying to buy a ticket. I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fair. I respect it.
Nah, and Summer Smash is like
It's mad fun.
it's
for me.
so fun, especially on the back end. Like I've been to Rolling Loud 1,000 times on the back end. Sucks
Tell her
now.
the story, please.
Yeah, it
Sucks
sucks.
now.
Tell her
It
the
sucks
Rolling Loud
now.
Miami real quick, bro. Like
Sucks.
how much
Which one?
walking you had to do, bro, in Miami.
Bro, I checked my, the health app.
Yeah. Oh, the steps.
Bruh, I
Yeah.
walked 12 miles that day.
Nah.
Yeah, he said he was just mad
That's
unorganized.
crazy.
Right?
Yeah, because the stages were first of all too far, and the backstage, like all the carts were taken. It's like
Yes.
And everything's all sectioned off now. I mean, obviously, like partially it's like
it's New York's
security. Yeah, and also like, was it Draco that got
Draco got stabbed.
at Rolling Loud?
K
21, I
Flock
think.
jumped somebody.
No.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
New York.
Oh yeah, that was
and
crazy.
so I think that kind of made them like heighten their security a little
Yeah.
bit. Like
OD.
I was like at Rolling Loud 2019 New York, and it was so
Legendary.
fun. Oh yeah, so fun. It felt like a
Legendary.
family affair. You know, you got all the trailers like surrounding each other, and there's like food carts, and everyone's just so like mingling. It's fun. It was fun. And then I went I actually went with Tana 2022, 2023.
Miami, LA, which one?
New York.
2022 probably.
2022,
Yeah.
and I was like, damn, I fucking hate this. They didn't let us do shit. You had to stay in your trailer that's sectioned off. You go to the press section for a set amount of time. All right, you got to leave. You go to your stage. You cannot stay at the stage. You go back to your
gotta-
trailer. You can't do shit.
And you gotta leave your trailer though. Like now,
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah, it's set
I was with
times. It's someone
Jaleel.
else's trailer afterwards too.
We
Are
had
they,
to
like,
grab
aggressive
all our
with it,
shit.
though? Or they saying it
OD.
nicely, though?
Because there's
No,
another
they were
artist.
like-
The later
Yo, get
artist
out.
at that
Yeah.
stage is replacing you.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No,
So
yeah.
you have to grab all your shit right before you perform and like have your shit on stage
Yeah.
with you, and then you gotta leave.
Yeah, Glorilla was after
Wow.
Tana on that stage, and we wanted to stay, and they were like, "You gotta clear out." I'm like,
shit.
"I want to see Glorilla."
Damn, that's unfortunate.
You mentioned sometimes that like interviews don't come out or like show vlogs don't come out. Why not? Is it because of the artist, or do you feel like somebody isn't like approving certain shit?
It's a mix of things. I'm also like a very prideful person. Obviously, they're the main ones that dictate what comes out, but sometimes like shit just doesn't work out right. I'm like it's content that I don't think is like good enough to put out. Like shit that's not like worth the
Is
just
it because
the
of the
post
artists and they
like,
weren't like they were
it
just like not
depends.
talking
I mean,
much or
that's the thing with like shows, like you never know what's gonna happen. Like I could be told for like weeks, oh yeah, you got the media pass, you got the camera pass, you got this and that, you got
Yeah,
and then I get there and they're like, sorry,
We
you're
don't
not
have you
on
on the
here.
list.
And then I call, and then I have to make like 1,000 calls, and like I feel bad like hitting people while they're in the middle of like organizing especially the
Right.
big shows. Like I'm sorry, I don't want to piss you off, but like bro, I got a job to do.
yeah,
like,
no, that's fair.
and like sometimes like I'm not gonna lie, talking to fans,
It's so hit or miss, right? It's so hit or
Bad.
miss,
Bad,
man.
especially once people start knowing that that's what I do. Sometimes kids like want to be reactionary,
Oh, trust me.
and
man.
like I hate to pull
We
that
don't.
as a woman card, but
Yeah.
like as a woman, like sometimes it gets even weirder.
Yeah, I'm sure they be saying some wild
Oh,
shit.
and it's just like sometimes they give me nothing, and I'm like, then why did you say you'd want to do it in the first place? Like I walk down the line, like, hey, does anyone want to talk? And then I'll talk to them. They'll be like, yeah.
Yeah. We appreciate
I
the
like,
energy.
Bro,
That's
we
been-
appreciate when somebody's like, "Yo, let's fucking go!" Like we
Yeah,
love that.
yeah,
like, thank
like-
you, bro. Like we'll get like
Yeah.
5 interviews of people, and they're like, "Yeah, let's keep going down the line," and then we'll get something good. Like, all right,
Literally,
We got some
yeah.
good.
So sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes things don't work out. You know,
What happened
sometimes
with
like
the Osama Sun show and the first one?
the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't get to interview Net or Osama. Similar shit where it's like I was told I could get to a certain area, and then I can't. And then there's like catch one. I forgot what room it was in LA, but like the backstage is also like a balcony behind the stage. Basically, it's like there's stairs on either side of the stage. It's like a balcony right behind,
Right.
and I have a bunch of people back there like Renaissance, like, yo, what's up? Come here. And I was like, I don't got the pass, and I'm looking around like, who got a pass? Fucking someone standing there with like a thing of passes, wristbands hanging out their pocket, like, sorry. I can't give you one. There's no more.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see
Yo,
it hanging out
those
your
people-
pocket. Like,
those people,
like,
they
yeah.
feel so entitled.
And
to
so
their
like,
job, right?
and so I like wasn't able to interview the artists. And then like when I did it was the first time I interviewed fans. So it just wasn't content that I felt like was like worth putting out. Like I was still getting into the swing of things, and
I think
you
the
know.
vlog of the show would be good.
Yeah, that's the thing. We didn't even like vlog
Like,
the show.
Oh, really?
It was just weird because it was the first time we ever did it, you know. And it also wasn't with the person that I ended up being like
Yeah.
with my main cameraman that I work with now.
right.
So now like we have that like synergy. But yeah, I mean sometimes it just doesn't work out the way that it was planned, and then nothing. Like we barely even get anything.
I'm not gonna
you know?
hold you. Like I feel like you can be like I'm not comparing, but the female version of Emwell.
Oh,
Like, you
I
could
love
really-
Emwell.
you
He's
could,
such
like,
good people.
So even
like-
if you
He's
feel
great.
like it's subpar content,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, you can always send it out to
Yeah.
platforms, and I'm sure they'll do it. If you don't want to put it
Yeah.
on your own platform because you
yeah.
feel like it's not good enough.
yeah.
But I feel like if you was consistent on that, like
Also, I'm not
That
gonna
should be
lie.
crazy.
Sometimes it's not me. Sometimes I want to put shit out and it never comes out.
Mm.
The Skywater Pretty Fun show a few months
Yeah,
back.
Mark
that would be
right?
a great one.
I
to post.
interviewed both of them, and I did.
Really?
I loved my interview with Sky. Like I love Sky too. Like that's homie. They're great. But I love my interview with Sky too. It was really good. Like you know, we had a lot to talk about, especially because I know Sky really well personally.
Where that?
Ask Sammy Aaron. I don't know.
Oh,
It's
man,
just like
Sammy, let it out.
I'm not always in charge of what comes out too. Like sometimes I will like be fully committed to like I love this, I want it to come out. I put a lot of effort into this, and it just like out of my
Damn.
control sometimes. Cause I don't, you know, at the end of the day, I don't run the page. I'm just
Right.
like I just do shit for them.
Nah, I
So
felt
you know,
that. I felt
it's
that.
yeah, it's hard because it's not fully my control.
So I don't know if you have a question there and that you want
Just
to.
one more. I was just gonna say, what do you think is more stressful for you personally? Is it the process leading up to like, okay, you wake up that day and it's like you got a lot to do, the fans, whatever. Is that more stressful, or is it the actual interview itself for you? What would you say?
Or even post editing. Like I don't know. If
yeah,
you do
we
any
have
of the
an
editing,
editor, but sometimes it's like comes down to it where I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it, y'all. Like I know how to do that shit. Like
Yeah.
whatever. It's like literally so easy, you know. Like like match the audio, like level it, do a
Yeah.
tiny bit of color grading. That's it. Like
Right.
barely any chopping up. Like not a lot of sequencing, but I don't know. I mean, sometimes I get like paralyzed by the like, damn, like.
You got a lot
I
to
gotta
do
spend
today.
because I gotta get there like before doors by like for like an
That's
hour
my
or
biggest
two.
issue.
Yeah, I gotta get there before doors. Like it's not even
be
like
so
I get
tired.
there.
I know.
It's
I'm like, bro,
like-
I'm here. Where you at, bro?
Oh my god,
I'm
Looking
it's
for
like,
pork.
parking for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking for parking.
It's like doors at 6. I'm like, damn, I gotta leave my crib
Yeah.
at like 4:30. Like, what do you mean?
I gotta leave at like 3.
I guess for
Yeah.
me,
Long hour
I would
with it.
say, in my opinion, it's just leading up to it. Because once the lights are on and the camera's on, I just
Yeah.
get into that mode.
Yeah.
But it's just, you just never know what
It's like,
because the thing about interviewing fans is so reactionary.
yeah.
So like if they give you some,
I hate that part. I'm
I'll be
sorry,
like I don't know how to respond to that. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to make it funny,
yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm trying mad hard, you know,
And
it's
then
like
it just feel
yeah,
awkward.
it's not the
No,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, interviewing fans makes me more anxious than interviewing artists.
That's fair.
I actually don't. I think especially like with like underground fans. Like I covered Eric Due's show probably a year ago now, and I talked to the fans in line and stuff. That was so fun, so easy. These kids are so excited to talk. They were so interactive.
And
like
then you interview Malone
oh my
fans
god,
or
like talk to like Net fans. I went to like Atlanta to cover like the Glock show, and then
Glock.
after shout out Glock.
We did the interviews, like the fan interviews for those. That was
Yeah,
really fun.
nah, and that I remember like after the Glock show, like there was a bunch of comments like, "Nah, this groupie bitch was holding up the line." I'm like,
What?
I'm doing the job here. Like, nah, like they were so mean to me. Like they were like, I was like, I'm not holding up no line. Also, like you're.
That's so crazy how they think they can say that, because they would never say that to
No,
like, some
never
shit
to
like
my
us, bro.
face. Like they were probably just looking at me the whole time, like.
That's fucked.
And then it's like, oh, like I'm on Instagram. All right, now you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it scares me because like I don't know, the idea that like all these people are like looking at me, and like now that these kids kind of recognize me and recognize the logo on the microphone, and I gotta like pull shit out of them. Where like with the artists, like I'm prepared. Like I know I have shit ready. Like
we're pretty good though. Like I feel like you're really good on your feet. Like when
Thank
somebody.
you, bro. Like improvising?
Yeah, like
Thank
if
you,
somebody's trash, like you'll just say
I'll
some
try
funny
to,
shit.
I choke sometimes for real. Like
My biggest stressor before shows is the media pass, and like, is it actually full access? Is it just photo?
Like
Yo,
they will tell me it's
Gramercy-
AA, and I get there and they're like, "Oh, here's your GA ticket." I'm like,
Word.
"What am I supposed to do?" with this?
Gramercy Theater was like, you got to pay $1,000 to shoot video.
No,
That's it.
those venues, I forgot who they're owned by. Is it Bowery Presents or something? They charge you to bring in a camera. Mercury Lounge is like $250 to bring in a camera. One time I came in with a camcorder this big, like the smallest handy cam, and they were like $250.
Oh my God,
I
that's
gotta
so
sneak
funny.
that shit in. Like fuck off. Like
We was at the Lil Wayne show in Philly. My man's had the camera. Fucking security guard told him like, "Yo, can't have that camera." Remember that?
When
boy?
I
They
have
took-
a media pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I literally have one.
Bro.
And like
Bruh.
the teams don't want to pay for you to bring a camera in if it's not like you're on their team specifically. You
That's
know, you're
just
not on
gouging
tour with
for
them.
money.
Like it's so weird to me. Like and then like one time like we had to like sometimes we have to like sign a waiver, and I'm like, why? Like well, for what reason? The pass honestly like is like one of the most stressful parts, and it's like I will confirm with people like multiple times, like 2 weeks in advance, a week in advance, 2 days, and the day prior. Like, yeah, you're good. And I get there, and they're like, we don't have you. I'm like,
Or you get it, and then for whatever reason, you can't get into the rooms that you're supposed to get access to.
yeah.
All right, man. So this is the greatest part of the entire episode. Are you ready?
Hot takes.
Hot takes.
All right, it's
Let's
a little
go.
spicy. I
And
should've brought
talking
some.
shit, like
Okay.
I'm friends with, a good amount of artists too.
Yeah.
Like
It's funny with
at
me.
this
No, I
point,
don't really have a
give
filter.
fuck. I don't give
Okay,
a
it's
fuck.
funny with me because I'm more of a fan. Like I always say this,
Yeah.
I'm more
I used to
No,
I
try
don't
to
give a
calm
sometimes
fuck.
I do have to like.
because y'all know I
Plead
get
the
it. You don't want to
fifth,
burn
you
bridges,
know?
I
relationships.
used to be
Yeah.
a teacher, so I used to not even curse on here, but shit, we passed
Yeah,
that
students be like, "Hey, I saw you." We're like, "How?"
No way.
I said something crazy, but all right,
Word.
let's get it. The first take. My man said, Chicago's been really hot. Everyone got tired of looking at New York City and Atlanta. Now we're finally getting noticed after doing more than enough work.
Damn. I mean, I do really like Chicago as a city. I'm very
Chicago's been getting
As a
that.
city
Like-
or like with artists?
I guess the
artists
scene,
and like
maybe?
the scene. I feel like I don't know a lot that's coming out of Chicago though. Like I mean, like obviously, like if you're going way back, you know, with, like
Right.
Sosa and all that. Like obviously, like foundation, you know, like going way back. But like, who's coming
Yeah,
up
I personally
right
don't know
now?
anyone.
They
who's
got
from
BJ the
Who's
Chicago
go-
kid.
Who's coming up out of Chicago
Throwback.
right now? Like maybe I'm forgetting, but like no, I
And
think
if you don't know, I don't know.
Lucky,
No,
right? He's from,
I-
no, I'm tweaking. Is Lucky from Chicago?
no. Is he
I know he's
I thought
heavily
he's from- I
influenced
thought
by
he's from-
Sosa, but
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know.
maybe
I mean, Chicago
this
itself
dude's
is
from
cool,
Chicago,
but-
so he knows more than we do.
Put us on, man.
Like bias.
Put us on, my boy.
Yeah.
If we
You
slacking,
got Summer Smash.
Yeah. Chicago
Shit.
itself is cool though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hell yeah.
like
The
I'm
pizza?
biased.
hitting. That shit hitting.
Chicago dog.
My man said, music never gets worse. The focus does. Music gets better every day, but there aren't many platforms dedicated to presenting that.
Huh.
It's kind of deep, right? Let me read it again.
Yeah,
Read it again.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Music never gets worse. The focus does. Music gets better every day, but there aren't many platforms dedicated to presenting that.
I don't agree with that.
You think so?
I don't know.
Because and it's to no fault of like the new artists, but the technology has been so advanced that anybody can do it.
Right.
The band labs of the world, you know, whatever.
AI and shit.
That like artist development isn't a thing, and I know a lot of people say that, but it's really true. Like nobody's honing in their skills. Nobody's taking 2-3 years to learn like their sound.
They want to blow up
like
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know?
Like Cardi, he's the epitome of artist development. Like he's gonna make you wait until he's right.
For sure.
And just in general, like you could be a singer, a pianist, whatever. It takes time to hone in that craft, you know, and people don't do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there isn't a lot of focus on artist development.
That's funny because Bow Wow said that, man, random. He had an interview like last year, said like, I'm the definition of artist development, like since a little kid, you know. So when he sees a lot of these rappers coming up, he thinks they're all garbage because it's like,
look at,
bro, you didn't get developed.
Look at Net, for instance. Like, there is people that liked his sound from 2 years ago, but people like him and I, we knew that the mixing was better. Yeah. We knew that the beat was over. Like but there's a beauty in like messy
madness.
Shit. And there's a beauty in that madness, you know. But if you notice, like Net's new music is definitely
more polished,
more.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of these youth don't like that.
I think
they
it's,
want you to stay grungy
they like
and
with
shitty.
Laser going up, and now he doesn't like he has mixing on his vocals. People are like, "Why does it sound so
it
clear?"
sounds
I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
No, with Net too. Like, I think it's cool, like the accessibility though. Like with Net, I remember we was in LA. Oh God, I don't know how long ago. It was probably 22 maybe. 2024. It was probably like. I think it was like spring 2024, so like a year ago probably. And, you know, labels were like, you know, everyone was trying to get at him, and everyone's giving him studio time, and da-da-da-da. And so I'm in the studio with like him and Ren, and it's a studio from this shout listen to the kids, actually, those are my people, but they had a studio like in office, so they had to give him studio time. They have an engineer and the engineer, it's like he wasn't ever really recording in a studio like ever. Like he was not used to that at all. Like he records on BandLab on his phone with his wired headphones.
We can tell.
And and he sat in the booth.
What to do.
Oh, he sat in the booth, and like there's the engineer, and he's just like not like feeling it, and he's like, hold on, I need a minute. And he comes back into the studio room. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't think I need the engineer. And he goes back into the booth with his phone and the Apple wired headphones and records on BandLab in the booth. Like whole like huge studio engineer, and we just told the engineer, yeah, you can go home.
Wow.
Like, and I was like, honestly, like that's pretty cool.
Damn.
Like,
if I'm the engineer, it's like
no. When I saw that, that's when I knew. Also, I'm like, nah, like you.
He's taking it into his own hands.
And you know what works for you.
That's
know?
fair.
Like,
my boy said, I don't know who that is.
Give me one.
Do you know that?
I just want to recheck this.
Oh no, you good. What is it? Sexy songs.
Some sexy songs.
Some sexy songs for you was surprisingly better than I thought it was going to be.
I
ain't gonna lie.
I didn't listen to it. I didn't listen to it.
I haven't listened to it.
I told myself I would, and I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love Drake.
I think we all do. I think it's just we
Drake.
Don't care. Like we'll wait. I feel like
2016 and prior, like Drake made my top 5 Spotify artists last year because I listened to like Take Care and So Far Gone and all that so much. Even
Classics.
2024. So like I love Drake. I think he's getting the corny allegations real hard. I get it. I agree, but I didn't listen to that.
Yeah, I think I'm just not fiending to hear it. Like I think.
I don't need the party next door.
I'm fine with listening to it eventually.
Yeah, I don't need that. Like that's the thing. Sexy songs for you. I don't know. That's not like I don't feel like.
And it's 22 songs. I think. I don't know.
It's
long.
Let's keep it a buck. It's long.
I much rather personally now listen to The Weeknd than Drake, but that's just me.
Okay, that's fair. My man said the term underground. Shout out Hyperpopdaily. The term underground means nothing anymore. People use it for rappers that are selling out 1K cap venues and have 1 million monthly listeners. Damn, I got like 13 likes that comment.
I feel like
I feel that. I feel that.
I feel like people will be like, no, they're
underground.
Can
you really be underground if you could sell out Irving? Are you still considered underground?
Right.
No. So it's like
I think people use that term just because it's like non-traditional rap. But at this point, like it is modern traditional.
Is it more the sound though? Is it more a sound too?
Like it's because they were underground. It's the culture, right? It's not like you're like hitting, like mainstream. Like it's not like it's like you'll mention it to like an average listener and they'll be like, who the fuck is that?
We always
but then
say
there's
that,
still got numbers. It's like I feel like there's a lot of people like that like even like major examples like Suicide Boys. This isn't like the same lane, but like
wow, that's a great example.
they got
That's a
numbers.
great
They
example.
sell. Oh my god, they got But if I talk to like an average like music
Right.
fan, I'll be like, you know,
Wow.
that wasn't tapped in for a while. I'll be like, yeah, Suicide Boys. They'll be like, who's
That
that?
might be the most
It's-
perfect
It's
example
the
Yeah.
I've
same
ever
thing
heard.
though,
Yeah.
and I know he's mainstream, but Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
Like the average person knows who Playboy Cardi, but are they listening to him? Like, I don't
That's
know.
mad funny you say that because I guess right, like I mean, our parents ain't listening to that shit. You
But
don't
he
really
is
hear it.
mainstream.
And
Like he's
I
got
know. No, I get what
100,000
you're
people
saying.
out rolling loud. You know,
Right.
so
I'm trying to think of another artist that's in that gray area lane.
lucky.
Yeah.
All
Lucky?
the time.
Yeah.
Lucky.
that's a-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great point. Yeah, Lucky. I don't know. What's one more artist that's like in a gray area?
Purgatory shit.
Yeah,
Like,
word.
yeah,
right?
that's the thing. They're like consistently like
They're in limbo.
I
feel like
there's
Russ
certain-
is a good example.
Oh God.
Am I bugging? Like he could sell out a whole.
Has he been like doing anything like
Yeah,
lately?
yeah. I mean, if
I
you
don't know.
I follow him on Instagram, and he's
Me neither,
always
I don't know.
he would drop a single, every couple months.
Yeah.
But like he would literally sell out
Yeah,
on
you
Russ.
talk
like
about like
this.
influence. Like I don't know about like selling ticket or whatever, but like there's people that have such heavy influence but never made it as big. Like Doo-Wop Kane even.
Uno the
Doo-Wop, shout
activist
out
too.
Doo-Wop. Yeah, Uno. Yeah,
that's a good
Uno's
example.
having a little bit of a moment
is,
now
is,
though
with that
because
Black Boy
like
Max
Black
with
song,
the
too.
yeah,
It's a
that
fire
shit's
song,
fire.
though.
No, I think definitely Uno's
Video coming
similar.
out. So Fago?
I was such a big Fago girl.
So was
oh
I.
my
Nah.
god. I know. I loved Fago. I loved like you
I didn't know she was gonna say girl. Like so am I.
No, I loved Fago,
Nah,
and I got
Fago's-
so sad that
we
he's
say this
just,
all the
like,
time,
He's
it's-
not. I think he should have never signed to Travis Scott.
Yeah,
Also,
right, yeah.
because then you get constantly like you will never stop being Travis Scott's artist.
Right.
You will
yeah.
never stop being like this huge artist. Like you will never like be like, oh, you're just so Fago.
Is that like
don't
a
think
lot
it's
to
a
do with the
mean-
demise of his shit?
I think
or
it's
does
part
it
of
have
it.
to do with him not dropping?
Him not
Oh yeah,
dropping is a
It's
huge
not
bad.
dropping. No, it's part of it. It's not the entirety of it.
I
Him
heard he
not
faked
dropping.
COVID, boy. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, of course.
He faked
Bro,
COVID to
Fago-
not go to a Cactus Jack
This is the
event.
prime
Are you
example,
for real?
right? So Fago and Yeet were head to head 2021, even 2022. Fucking Fago did a free album release show in New York, and it did not sell out.
Yeah.
I think I know. What
You
you're
didn't go to
talking
that?
about.
That was a cool. He did L.A. and New York.
We got
When
to
was
interview
that?
him.
2023.
Was it? Damn, it was
Yeah.
that long ago.
Yeah, bro.
I
Bro.
feel like I remember what you're talking
A
about. I might have been out of
free
town.
show-
June
A
2023.
free So Fago show did
Where
not
was
sell
it?
out. It was
It was
at
Market Hotel.
What was Market?
250 capacity. He couldn't sell it out.
Market's 500.
No, yeah, 500.
Oh,
it
fuck.
it looks like it's 250.
Yeah,
it's very
it's because the
deceiving.
ceilings are so low
Yeah.
and it gets hot as
Yeah,
shit.
mad hot in there, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, but I don't know. Word underground, I think people at this point use it for like the sound and where it came from. You know, it's like not even the right word though sometimes because like, I guess underground doesn't even mean numbers anymore. It just means it's like.
I think it's
a
just
scene.
I feel like some people want to be in that. They don't even
Oh,
want to
yeah.
become mainstream
They
either because
don't.
it's cool. Like
Yeah, people
I'm
be like,
part-
damn, my
I'm
artist
tapped
is
in,
blowing
twin.
up. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm tapped in, twin.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Speaking of underground, especially SoundCloud, has been in a mediocre state since 2019, 2020.
Oh well, that's too far back to.
That's definitely
for
a
that
hot
to-
take. I
That's
disagree
hot
with
because
that.
that's like 2019. All right, you're
That's
pushing it. I
crazy.
think like if you're talking era of like
2021
Slay
maybe?
World and
Yeah.
shit like that, like I think has a lot of influence, and that definitely
like
had
the
its
Summers
moment.
of the world and all
Yeah,
that. I feel
Summers
that.
and all this shit. We're talking even Isaiah TG,
Jace.
Chase.
Jay's hard. I love his music.
Me
I'm a
and him
fan.
had a moment of beefing, but
Of course,
shout out,
it's Jace.
bro.
When does he not?
I
right?
know.
Come
I
on.
just hated how he became a reactionary human being because he's hard. But I
Yeah.
mean, I think he's out of that now. I think he's a little more reformed. So
We
It
hope
takes
so.
growing up.
yeah. He's younger than me too. I didn't realize that till recently. I
yeah.
think he's like 03 or something. 02,
Believe it or
03.
not, you and Trippie Redd are like the same age. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, Trippie's like an OG legend, right? And it's like he's
Yeah.
only like 24, which is crazy.
Yeah. I think like right now though it's a little weird because everyone's just a derivative of something else. I don't know if there's that many people that are like fresh, like something that I could see
Too
having
Hollis.
influence.
That's
like,
what I was
I
saying.
think
Sue
Too
earlier.
Hollis, yeah, and
In
Sue
my
Hollis is a
opinion.
different one too because that's like, I hate to say nepo baby, but you know, he's
Nepo-
nepo
true.
baby.
Well-
His mom like he was like OG like Skrillex type
Right.
like.
Yeah,
But
no,
I do
we
think
know
I
that,
do
but I
think he
just
has
mean-
his I think he has his moment a lot of
Yeah.
because he
I'm not
probably
gonna
was
hold you.
around it long enough to really have a better.
I fuck with Starboy. more than Too Hot.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But Starboy got like crazy social anxiety. I tried to hit him up to book a show.
You're not
I
with
don't
the
get
shits.
nothing back.
Yeah. No.
All right, let's
Like,
see.
you don't want money?
Hearthstone Psycho was the best album of 2024. Don
Is that
Toliver.
Don Toliver joint?
That was a great album.
I didn't listen to that either.
Great
No,
production.
You didn't listen to
I
it?
didn't listen to it.
Nah.
I didn't. I
Don
know.
Toliver got
It's
me
like,
blocked, bro.
What?
That's so crazy.
The only time I said something of my opinion on him was about on here, so you had to see the podcast.
Okay.
And it was basically like, remember you tried to put me on to his set at Rolling Loud.
You didn't even
and Made in
disrespect
America.
him either.
I just said it's not my shit. Like Smoke, I kind of made fun of Smoke and shit.
Yeah.
But
It's just not your cup
Rockin'
of
is
tea.
Crazy.
I didn't listen to it.
It's
I don't
really
know.
good.
That's the thing,
Yeah.
because like low-key, I'd be really tapped out of like mainstream.
Fair,
like people
fair.
mention shit like Don Toliver and like that. And
That's
I'm like,
the
oh, I
same
didn't
thing
listen to
Emwell
that.
said.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I don't
Same
listen to
thing.
that. People were like, how? I'm like, damn, I don't know. I just listen
Yeah.
to it.
No,
like,
that's true.
fuck.
Like the 4x4 song, I did not listen to by Travis.
Oh, the
Scott.
Trav? It's fine. I only know about it because I watch wrestling. So that's like the main theme of it.
Mm.
4x4. Speaking of Trav, that was crazy. He was there last night. Did you see that?
What?
In wrestling?
WWE shit.
Oh, I
He
saw
had the
clips
sage.
of
He's
it.
lighting
Yes,
up the
he,
sage
like,
in the
not-
middle of national
Not
TV,
for
bro. It's on
respect.
Peacock, but he's
Yeah.
like this with the sage. I'm like, yo, what
Yeah.
is Travis even doing here? Like,
That's funny.
anyways, my man said Ron
Shack.
is better than Nine Vicious.
Ron Shack. Okay, I've been talking to people
But-
about this.
My thing is like, all right, good.
I've been talking to people about this. There's a lot of like, obviously, a lot of people are doing the thug influence right now. A lot of people are doing the thug thing.
Tana.
Like Tana, shout out Tana. I think Tana deserves.
I think he
so
did it in a
His
dope
much
way,
last
though.
project
It was you could tell it was
So-
homage.
so
though.
I could
consistent.
tie with that bitch.
And I was talking to Tana last night. He literally hit me
Never
up like,
sober.
"Bro, I miss you." I was like, "I
Yeah.
miss you." Like that's like literally
Never sober is my
heart.
shit. No cap.
Yeah, I think Tana deserves like low key like just more of like
It's because I
respect. It's because he came up as
baby.
Baby Santana, and that's what everyone's gonna like consistently see him as, and just that like old like when he was like like I don't know like
It's gonna
I
be
think
weird
he's-
seeing Tana when he's like 25.
I know, like he
Right?
had his 18th birthday. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
they grew up so fast.
Yeah.
But like I think Tana deserved a lot of like what all these other like thug
But put me on.
derivatives
Who
are.
is
But
this
Ron
Ron
Shack,
guy?
Ron Shack, he's from I think he's from like outside Jacksonville, Florida, or something like that. But he definitely is that like kind of heavy thug influence. He just dropped a project that was really good. Actually, I've been on him for a little bit now. I found him like when he dropped his like first single that did super well.
Ron Shack. Okay.
He's super cool, great dude, not problematic. I think he has a little bit more originality in the sound, like Nine Vicious, like, and don't get me wrong, I fucked with him, like, what was it, like, Key, like that song, like Key and,
yeah.
RP Key or whatever, there was, like
FN
FNN.
song?
Oh yeah, praying to God, but I don't pray to Buddha. Like that was my shit for a minute. But like it definitely sounds like if you close your eyes, you're like, oh, this could be like a AI thug song.
Sure.
You know? But like it's not that it's bad, but I think Ron Shack has a more like original and like uniqueness in his sound. I do really want to see him go up. I definitely
Did you see Nine Vicious is having a show? I don't know if you're gonna go to
Yeah.
that.
I won't be
SOBs?
here. I'm gonna be in
I'm curious
Texas.
to see how that show is gonna be.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Texas.
My man
It
said
might be the same day as Dave Blunt's.
no, it's the next week.
It's the next week.
shit.
Yeah, I
March
remember that.
14th is it?
Yeah.
My man said Blade is the best artist to ever sing. The only Blade I know is Wesley Snipes.
I love Blade.
I ain't gonna hold you.
I saw Blade last year. He performed at. Oh, I don't know if it was. What was it? Avant Gardner. It was like one of those.
Am I saying it right? It's
huge-
Blade, right?
Blade, like two
Blade.
E's.
2 E's, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Blade.
thought it was Bladi or some shit.
My name, yeah, she called me Bladey. No, Blade is hard. I think Blade has, a lot of uniqueness to his sound that definitely people take
Cult fan
influence
base,
from.
right?
Very cult fan base, very much.
What are they called?
The
Aren't they
Drain
called?
Gang.
Drain Gang. yeah.
Drainers. Drainers. I think he's super cool singing. That's funny. I don't know. I think he's very. His show I went to, I don't know if it was Avant Gardner, but it was huge. So many fucking people. The venue was really cool because it's just this big like screen that like panned all the
Brooklyn
way
Mirage?
across. It might have been Mirage.
Mirage is fucking
That's where
fire.
he-
And
had
he
a
like
show.
sold it out, I think.
Wow.
Like, oh, it was a fire show.
They
What do you
usually do
think
EDM and rave shit there.
Yeah.
They rarely do rap.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Blade, but I've heard like people like put him on their story or whatever. Is he similar to like a Spooky Black? You remember Spooky Black?
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
A young
I
Lean?
guess so. I mean, yeah, he like came up with lean and shit. Yeah. Or like I don't know at the same time, but like yeah, like that's the kind of same, you know, lane, I guess, generally.
We got like 2 more. My man said Tyler the Creator is the most creative rapper since Kanye.
Huh. I used to be a big Tyler girl. I have like all like everything Igor. Yeah.
Tyler's goated, bro.
I have like every album of his, Igor and Pryor on vinyl. Oh yeah, like Wolf was one of my favorite albums in high school. Bastard.
It's hard to think of another artist that's
like that's the
if
thing.
If not
like,
Tyler, then who?
Yeah, that's what
you know what I'm saying.
That's the thing. Like in terms of creativity,
Rocky don't count. Rocky
like,
hasn't dropped since I graduated college, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's crazy to me too. I was thinking about that the other day. Like, damn. You just
obviously,
I felt like
Rocky,
last week
yeah.
when he got all the charges dropped.
Yeah.
That Friday he should have dropped, bro.
They're saying that it's because of him that Cardi's not dropping.
Yeah, because he signed something.
That?
Someone said like he signed something to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
he's
like,
still AUG apparently.
Yeah,
like,
I mean ASAP was really like doing the things too, but I don't know. In terms of creativity, it might be.
Has to be.
I don't know. Yeah, he's had just.
There's no incentive for ASAP Rocky to not let that drop.
What, for Cardi?
Yeah, it'll be the biggest project.
Well, he wants him to have the spotlight. That's the only reason. Because like you would think Rocky would have to drop this month, bro. Rolling Loud is coming. He's headlining it.
Really?
And so is Cardi. Yeah, they're both headlining it.
Yeah, he is headlining it.
So it's like, why? I can see why Rocky's like, nah, bro, I want to drop. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's
in my opinion. I mean, now is my time. You should have dropped last year, stupid. If I'm Rocky,
24.
like, and I don't know. But I agree with that take. I think
Tyler's just had so much, like, the way he's able to, like, change throughout the years, too. And, like, it's still, like, very well, you know, received by everybody.
Performance-wise, too?
Oh, yeah.
Tyler's
amazing. I've
dude,
seen him.
bro.
I've seen him quite a few times. And
he's doing 60 tour dates.
Bro, insane.
Or, like, 90, actually. 90 because he's doing
insane. UK. Oh, my God.
My man said, what he said? Cardi can keep the album. That one's silly.
At this point, I don't give a fuck. He could drop it. He can't drop it. I don't know. I'm not pressed about when he will.
We're gonna hear it whenever it drops. We're gonna
drops
listen
it. He
to
drops
it.
it. Whatever. I don't know.
Fucking old as shit.
Whatever. Yeah. Like I'm about to like, married with my first child. Like.
My man said Tana's been the most consistent underground artist for about 4 years.
Yeah.
I think it's like super.
He hasn't dropped in almost a year though.
Yeah.
That last project was amazing, man. It should have. You know,
he should have more
I just
music
don't think
videos.
he plays the game. Like
he should have had more music videos.
He doesn't play the industry game much. So
you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't really put himself out there. He'd be on his, him and FaZe will be on the mysterious shit.
FaZe's been the one that's been in people's faces.
FaZe, FaZe had that whole.
Of 88 going? What's Southside 88 cutting his?
Oh, you sound like Ken Carson. That's my nephew, twin. You kind of sound like him. I ain't gonna hold you. And FaZe was just like.
Oh, the clip.
It was mad awkward.
No,
yeah.
I was also like.
That was an old head take. I'm sorry. It didn't really sound like him.
Like,
the beat maybe, but come on.
No, not at all.
I heard that song like
before. On release. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, that is an old head take.
That was a little bit of a.
I was sitting there like.
He's so easy to hate on, and it's just.
Yeah.
It's unfair to him, but they're pretty mean.
He was with. Oh, what's her name? Maya Owens?
Oh, Mia Owens? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember I saw that TikTok,
wow.
and I was like, oh, I knew people were going to talk about it. FaZe with Ken Carson's ex. Like, all right, everybody.
We got one last one. My boy says, Playboy Cardi has become popular enough to never release another album and remain just as relevant as he's been for many, many years. So Frank Ocean vibes?
I saw a YouTube video where like...
I suppose he could never
Frank
drop.
Ocean, that's who I forgot to mention. Frank Ocean. Oh, sorry, was one of my favorite artists of all time. I saw him live.
Oh, wow.
Rare.
Wow.
Right after Blonde when he headlined Panorama. Oh my God! Sorry, I had to go off. That was like I went to that festival by myself just to see Frank Ocean.
Ferraris? Like play that at my funeral,
one of my
bro.
favorite albums ever. Damn, I think like low-key, I don't know about like just like maybe it might like fall off and have a bit of a plateau, but like
I suppose Whole Lot of Red
so
it will be.
influence.
Let's say he didn't drop in the next 5 years, that would be his Blonde.
like it's had so
A
much
lot of
influence,
red.
and I
Not that I
personally
want that to happen. but-
Die Lit and Self-Titled I still love.
do too.
Oh, Long Time is one of the best intros to a project ever.
Leon
Like,
James.
Yeah, Dilet is great.
oh
Gavi
my
Lone.
god, I think like low-key, I mean, yeah, he's just had so much, like he's literally, he has so many sons, you know, like he's definitely permanently
But
altered the
Let's
sound
not
for a
forget,
lot of people.
the granddaddy of all this is Wayne.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
I gotta bring him up every time. He on the wall
man,
right here.
yeah.
Stop
Go
playing.
there. That's my
Fire.
dog. But yeah, that's pretty much today's episode. That was fire.
Yeah, yo, I fuck with you.
We could, yo,
I ain't
it's
gonna
so
hold you.
fire. We could
Thank
probably
you,
keep going
thank
for a
you.
long time.
I
'cause have
talk.
so
I was
many-
saying I just
No,
talk.
that's a good thing. That's a
I
good
just
thing.
talk. That's why I
So-
stream, because I could just.
Nah, it's awesome.
What's your
We love that.
plans in the future? You know, like I don't want to like curve your plans, but like I
Yeah.
said, I mentioned you could be like the female version of Emma, like your
Yeah.
own lane type shit. But
Yeah.
besides that, like, what's your plans for the next?
I
years.
definitely I wanted to have my own, like almost like my own well. You know,
Nice.
something
That'd be
that's
awesome.
like not just like, you know, there's people that already do just a straight sit down, like Arshawn with KTO. Like that's like, he's
Shout out
great. He's
Arshawn.
a great interviewer. I honestly like respect
Dope
him a lot. I
person,
look up
too.
to him. I'm like super cool dude.
Yeah.
But like, you know, there's people that do the just like straight sit down and like talk and go through everything. But like Emwell has like that something special where he has that like,
Yeah.
and it's
It's
interactive.
like
Oh,
And like the thing I like, Emwell has that like interactive component. I think is really important.
Right.
Like that adds.
There's funny elements
so
to
much.
it, right?
Yeah.
The games and
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. And so for a little while, I've been trying to. I have a whole idea
Have
in
you
the
thought of an
works.
aesthetic?
And,
'Cause
like,
do some call her
I
daddy
have,
type shit.
so I have a whole idea that I've been working on, but like executing it is where I've kind of hit a roadblock. I have people that I'd even do it with. Like I was talking to like Alicia G and her people and Xavier and all these people. I have a whole concept in mind, and low-key, not someone stole it, but someone I just peeped like
Your
came
idea?
out, like they didn't steal it because they don't know what's in my brain, but someone just started doing something that was so
No.
similar, and I was so
That
mad. I was so
sucks.
mad, but like mine is like a little different, but it was like fuck.
And now you gotta kind of go back to the drawing board a
But
little bit.
yeah, but
That's why you just gotta do shit.
I know I've just been sitting on it for too long. That's my problem. But I think I kind of am diverting a little bit more away from like management and stuff like that.
Shit's stressful.
I've been like on and off talking about possibly like A&Ring for part of what I do. I've always thought about being an A&R, or at least like freelance A&Ring. But I've been kind of more leaning into the fact that like I have a platform and like people fuck with me just because I'm me, and that's pretty cool.
Right. No, yeah.
Like,
I think that's the
Streaming,
biggest
too.
blessing.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest blessing in a online presence is that
Yeah.
no matter what you put out,
People go.
people
People
will still
fuck
rock
with
with you.
Yeah,
Like, I
so
can
I
see
think
you
with
on
the
Song Wars judging.
yeah,
and
so
shit.
that's why so that's why I've like started to really like go like focus on like streaming, and like with that like consistency is key. Like
Absolutely.
it's cool that I could just hit a go live button and just talk. Like I most of the streams I don't have any plan.
Yeah, but the thing with that though is that you
It's
might have
like-
to sacrifice something else.
Yeah.
So because you want to put your
and
foot
it
in
takes a
fully,
minute.
you
Oh,
know.
God,
So
it takes a minute to pay off, especially and like, but I
Time,
definitely want to
money.
like, yeah, I think it is something I'm really like hoping will kind of work out in my favor, where that is like a huge part of what I'm able to do, because like I really enjoy it, and I think I have some ideas, and I think it would be really cool to even like take that like interview format thing that I was thinking of and just put it in the live stream instead. So instead of just having a pre-recorded, edited, and everything,
So
like
it's, like, not
integrate
as
that
work, not
idea
as much
into like an
work.
IRL stream type thing, and then also having an editor do it in post and upload it to YouTube and everything.
for sure, you have to.
Yeah.
I have someone actually that's editing a couple of things that I did on stream, and we're gonna upload it as YouTube video. Like, I don't know if you saw the Underground Iceberg that Trending Raps posted.
The one that has a million names
Yes.
on it.
So
My
I
guy-
spent
that's
two.
my guy, by the way.
Yeah, no, that
Good
was
guy.
crazy. No, he's cool. I spent like 2 separate streams. We put all the names in a wheel,
Yeah.
and so I like picked. I didn't do everybody, obviously, but I would land on a name, and we'd review them and talk
Yeah,
about them
that's
if I didn't
fun.
already know them. So like we chopped that up. I'm gonna upload that soon, like 2 parts. But
Awesome.
I'm hoping that I could, divert like the content I make into that platform. Streaming is key right now, low key. That's kind of like the shit like Max is doing. Like I love that like space that he's in, where it's like the streaming world and like the music world. Like I like that
Oh yeah,
intersection
he's
a lot.
he got.
I
the
love
lane.
that world that he's in. I think it's like really cool to, I'm hoping I could kind of
You can just
divert
make it
into
happen.
that. Yeah.
We
Shout
believe
out
in
to
it.
you. Very
Thank
nice
you.
talking to you.
Thank you. I
You already
appreciate
know.
you
Nah,
guys.
yeah, we
I
appreciate your time,
you
honestly.
guys.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which, podcast episode 105. Yo, shout out to her. She was
Mhm.
dope.
Mm-hmm. Capital
Thank
T.
you guys.
Capital
Thank
T
you
over here. Choo choo.
guys.
I'm in town, yeah, for